Okay, so we have another entertainment squad joint for you people, and this is American Prom. Okay, right. So it is directed by Dominic Giannetti, who also wrote the piece. He's also the producer and executive producer. He's the editor as well, right? Dominic did a lot, which yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so cinematography is Emmanuel Mondesia. Um, Nick Castle, production management. We also, yeah, then it's the cast. There's not a whole heap of information on the film, but the cast we've got Trinity. She is played by Gabriella Estabrook. Her best friend, Danica, is played by Keely Opsal. We've got Sasha, played by Gianna Angela. Um, Boom, boom, boom. There's Michael, played by Akinté Hutchinson. We got Remy, played by Alexa Ketchum. Paisley, played by Avaryana Rose. There's Kate, played by Sofia Lauren Giannetti. Christy, played by Aubrey Jean. Diana, played by Emilee Kurdziel. Rooney, played by Gigi Leighton. The coach, Danica's dad, is played by Mike McRobert. The bellhop is played by Kevin Siegelbaum. They don't have Trevor, right? Which is odd. Yeah, Trevor's not listed here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, the gist of the film is this. It brings spirituality into the center of a modern day coming of age story. Trinity enters high school and finds herself mixed up with the in crowd, tempted by popularity, parties, and peer pressure. As prom approaches and temptation grows, Trinity must decide her path. So that is the story they wanted to tell. It's not the story that we see, though. That's the thing, right? It's it's odd. This is odd, and to be honest, really pissed me off, right? Really pissed me off. And the, look, it's a faith-based film. I didn't know that going in, but you could tell. You could tell. So we start off with a scene from later in the film, and then we, do that circling back business. So we meet several different people, right? The focus changes. We're first with Trinity and Danica, they're best friends, they do everything together until Danica goes on holiday, right? We then go with Sasha. Her and Michael are together, everything's great, but then they split up. And there's a lot of jumping around, so the prom is a year before some of the events we first see. Then we're jumping 3 months before, a week before, just all of this kind of business. So it's showing all of these different things, relationships, all of that jazz. All right, you've got Sasha, who starts drinking, and then all this other stuff. But the timelines are weird, right? There's a lot of stuff that isn't very clear in the justifications, and they spring stuff on you out of the blue, right? So, yeah, Sasha's drinking. Now, there's something that we find out that happens to Sasha. But here's the thing, we don't know if she was drinking before that or started after that. It's not clear, right? It's not clear. Because all we heard is, oh, he didn't dump me because of the drinking. He dumped me because of, and then we go into this other thing. So it's just like, when did the drinking start? Right? If the drinking started after the thing, that makes you understand maybe why she's drinking. But there's still mad holes, right? It's yeah, peculiar in that fashion. Right? Danica going on holiday. I feel you wonder how many weeks she went for, because it doesn't seem like it was a lot of time. But in that space of time, Trinity just basically dumps her. Like Trinity, it's a couple of times Trinity's just like, oh, I'm pretty smart. Right? I'm pretty smart. But then we get these two incidents, right, where she tells Danica, I don't think we'll be best friends, but then expects Danica to continue talking to her, right? And then the thing she says in the hotel room, you're like, I don't know what's going on. Can you explain it to me? And just all of this shit. And you're just like, wait, come on. Like, you don't have to be a brain box to understand those two situations. I feel it's a mad disservice to for those two situations to be like, oh yes, someone wouldn't understand, because that's insanity to me. I mean, though these two incidents are pretty fucking clear, pretty fucking clear. It's crazy. It's real fucking crazy. Ah, dear, oh dear. Right? The film is in Florida. Now, I know there are parts of America that aren't as diverse as others, a bit like the UK, right? There's those little pockets where you're just like, there is nothing, nothing. But where they are, I kind of feel there's a bit more diversity. There might not be an abundance, but there'd be a bit more. There's basically Michael is the only black person, it seems, at that school. The only one, right? I don't think we saw any other minority in this film at all. It's just craziness, right? Craziness. And when the race thing does come up, it is tiptoed around. Oh my God. Right? He's talking to his coach, and he's basically saying that the other team are throwing like racist shit at him. And the coach is just like, oh, it doesn't matter, Michael. Don't worry about it. And you're just like, wait, what the fuck, man? Like, what is that? We're just like, oh, God will, help you through. Just shut the fuck up, right? It could look. I have nothing. I'm not religious, but I have nothing against religion in the context that people find use in it, comfort in it. That is all good. I love that, right? That's great. But to try and go the you know what I mean? Religious people are just like, oh, racism, if you pray, it will stop. No. Wait, you think because you're religious that you can't be just disgusted by racism, frustrated by racism? Like, you're just going to be like, oh, well, let's pray. Come on, man. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Right? It was just so repulsive. It's fucking repulsive. I hated this shit, man. Right? The other thing with this film, firstly, there's an age gap, but we don't really know until close to the end when I think it's the bellboy brings it up, right? But we don't know how, like, there's a big age gap between Trinity and Michael, which that's baffling. We don't actually know how long they're in the hotel for, right? Because firstly, if it's prom, why would you go to the hotel days before? Right? You would go to people usually go to prom and then stay over that night. But it looked like they're at this hotel for ages, which is weird. Right? It's not explained why Trevor can't get his own alcohol. Right? Not explained. It's not explained the whole, well, no one, like, there's no kissing. There's no kissing in the film, which, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not like everyone should be lipsing up and all of this. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. But the thing being, obviously, people are having sex because there's a pregnancy situation, right? There's a pregnancy situation, but the film is acting like, the only physical contact is a hug. So you're just like, wait, whoa, hold on. People have had sex, right? Because you only find this out, I think, like halfway through the fucking film. So it's just like, wait, people are having sex. Okay, if Trinity's 14, what's going on? Like, what is going on? Like, her and Michael have supposedly been dating for a year. So, are we saying within that time, there was no conversations? There was no, come on, if you like me, you would do this. There's nothing. There was no feeling up. There was nothing. That's what you're telling us. Because after the other stuff we find out, that is hard. That is real fucking hard to believe, right? There's so many things in this film that make no sense. The alcohol consumption. People are drinking alcohol like it's water. And I will tell you right now, right? You can get like, I've had the smoothest whiskey. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So good. But I still ain't drinking it like it's water. You know what I mean? Like the same with wine, with most things. But these people, these fucking kids, are just necking stuff like it is nothing. And then walking around all fine. Right? And the act, there's a character, which one was it? It was frigging Remy, right? Remy's meant to be a bit of a lush. The acting of drunkenness is terrible. It's terrible. But I mean, a lot of times in films, when there's characters who are meant to be playing drunk or stoned or something, or if they're on a mushroom, it is over the top. It is so bad. And yeah, in this it's terrible. But still, walking in straight lines, no slurred speech, no throwing up. Because at that age, you ain't really got tolerance. You're throwing up, you're doing all manner of things. Nothing in this. Nothing in this, right? And at the end of the film, a phone call gets made, right? A phone call gets made by someone. But then when we get to this scene, who the fuck made the phone call? Who the fuck made the phone call? Right? Where was all the other things that would be there? It made it just made no sense. Look, I get it. This is a faith-based film, and they're trying to be like, yo, look after your friends, right? Don't fall into temptation. You know, don't be lured, you know, don't have unprotected sex, don't fall prey to alcohol, right? All of these things that this film is trying to say, but it's saying it in a horrible way. It is just bad. It's fucking bad, right? I want to give props to most people that make films, that write films, that work in the industry, because it's difficult. It's not easy. Like we see these films, however long, 90 minutes, 80 minutes, 2 hours, however long, short films, you know what I mean? 5 minutes, 15, whatever. There's a process to get that on screen. Right? It can take years. It's hard work, it's determination. So mad props to anyone that does it. But not all films are created equally. And not everyone working in the industry can do it well. And I think if you can't tell a story, man, you have to understand you can't tell a story. Get someone else to write your fucking stories. Get someone else. Get someone else to edit. We had some horrible edits. We go from one scene to Michael in the shower, right? The shower curtain opens. He leans, picks something up. Shower curtain shuts. Next scene. Why is that there? It did nothing for the story. It did nothing for character development. It did nothing. And there's a load of those scenes in this film. Right? You need to understand what your strengths are. Editing isn't one of it's not one of his strengths, right? Dominic, don't write, don't edit. You know what I mean? Just don't, because listen, maybe the other films are better, right? Maybe his TV work is better, but this is abhorrent. Because the way you handled the race, the way you handled the pregnancy, the way you handled alcohol, it's just insane. It's just insane. And for me, the race thing was just the worst. Was the fucking worst. So I would like to give you some props for this. I would like to do that. Can't do it. Can't do it. People, if you have watched Dominic's other films and you enjoyed them, awesome. American Prom, you will find it on a VOD near you. So if you like his other stuff, boom, go check it out. But I can't give you anything good about this film. I hated it. And yeah, I'm saying it because, hey, it's the only way people learn. It's the only way people learn. But you cannot do that with fucking... You're telling me a black kid is gonna skate around, the whole racism thing like that. He'd be like, oh, but they just had to treat me because I'm busted. Shut the fuck up. This is appalling. This is fucking appalling. Be ashamed, motherfuckers. Be ashamed.